G'day dudes and dudettes. Got a call to action today. Got a stuck screw on the stator of my Zongshen engine. I looked over the internet, couldn't find a solution, so that's me call to action to bring you guys a solution if you've got the same problem I have. Alright, let's have a look at it. Now here and here we have the screws. Taking the stator rotor off and going to replace this with a better ignition system for the bike so we can run it on the road. Now, these screws are soft. They're like cheese. Most of the fasteners on this Chinese stuff aren't the same as what we're used to working on Jap bikes, so you've got to be careful. Speaking to the source of information from the UK, these screws are very soft, so he recommends not using an impact driver on them. So that rules the impact gun out. I'm going to show you what he recommended and see if that works. Because there's Loctite on these screws, one of the other sources recommended that you use a heat gun on it. The problem with that is there's an O-ring in behind that. There's oil in here. There's an O-ring in behind there, and that I'll show you the chart now. There you go. And Loctite melts at 200 centigrade. The most common sealing O-rings are good for 250 centigrade, so that's pretty close. But we'll go back to Adrian from 00 Racing said use a punch the size of the bolt, which I don't have. I'm going to try and use this one anyway and see how that goes. At the very least, this will push down the tops of that screw, which have been worked by the impact driver that I was using the other day. Number 3 Phillips. We're always going to use the least destructive method first. Serious time. Put the mechanic glove on. Alright, we'll give that a good going over, but it ain't coming, so we'll have to move on to plan B. Now, I use number 3 Phillips bit in the vintage vessel impact driver. This thing was my late father's, and he passed in 94, so it's got to be fairly old, almost as old as I am, which is fairly old. But valve grinding paste on the tip, hold it in firmly, make sure you're going the right way, hit it with a big bloody hammer. But replace them screws, that's the most important thing. Don't reuse those Chinese cheesium screws, alright? Chinesium? Cheesium? Hey, nothing against you guys, but you're just not as good as the Japs yet.